it's Wendy, aka Kitty Street. Welcome back to my channel. And guys, we're at Vlogmas day 19. Where has December gone? So yes, I have reminisced and looked back at all my Vlogmases before I came on because man, I don't know what I was talking about all month. So I went back and checked them out myself, and there's some crazy stuff going on. And yes, I got off on a little bit of a tangent. I've told you some stories. I've had some double surprises. I've had some, dupe surprises, thinking I had double surprises, and some distractions and some delays. But all in all, guys, I have had a wonderful time. And I could not have done that without you. I mean, literally, Christmases before have never been this much fun. Even when my kids were little and I was shopping for them, I really cannot say. I think this is probably the happiest time I've had in quite a while. And it's thanks to Temu, and it's thanks to you subscribers. And if you're not a subscriber and you just check out my channel, you're still wonderful. You're wonderful, and I appreciate you, and I thank the support by watching me, coming on and listening to me, and commenting and liking and sharing. It means the world. So I'm going to jump right on into this one because today I do have another video coming out, and I'm not, some people said they don't like me to link them. So I'm going to do the Vlogmas day 19. And then I do have a Temu Tuesday that you'll see later on again. So there's going to be two surprises today in one for you, or two videos. I don't know if they're considered surprises or not. But yes, guys, we are getting down to the nitty gritty. We're on day 19. Oh my gosh. 19. Oh, we're starting on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 days a week. Oh my gosh, till Christmas. And I have done a lot of stuff. I've done more stuff this year than I normally ever do in the month of December. And because I'm logging it and vlogging it and videoing it, I'm like, man, I've done a lot of fun stuff. And those are memories that I'm gonna keep, making every single year going forward. And I've been having a great time, and it's been simple stuff. I've done nothing elaborate, and you can see by my videos, I've just been taking it easy. I've been real chill. Okay, with that said, we're going to be opening up drawer 19 of my homemade Temu advent calendar filled with goodies. And let's see what we got here. And is this going to be... I know exactly what this, and I've been waiting on this. And what's funny is I think you will be seeing a video about this particular topic very, very soon. Okay, so let me set this down and show you the surprise. And I think it's only one. I can already tell that this is the package that it came in, so that I can tell you the price. And no, there's a few things about me. If you know me and you're a subscriber and you have been, know anything and want to find anything about Wendy, aka Kitty Street, it says there are a few things that I do really, really, really love. Number one is Harry Potter. Number two is Disney World. And I happen to like all things Disney World kind of stuff. And, I bought those, and I actually have the hot pink one. And I usually drink my water with it every single morning. And it's upstairs being washed. But guys, look at this. It's those little toppers. And of course, I'll have to maybe try to put a video in with them on. But I got the little pink with the black Mickey Mouse ears, and the white one and the pink Mickey Mouse ears. Look at this, pink, black, and white, and then pink and white. These are stinking cute, and they're the ones that fit over your little straw. The little piece goes over the straws, and this will sit on top of it, so they're not getting anything inside them. Now, I do have some that I got, and I thought I had gotten Christmassy ones, but they weren't, so that's why I haven't been using them. They're different designs, but these were, let me tell you how much they were, and I know I got them on the lightning deal, and I was kind of worried if they were going to fit, and I actually thought they were going to be smaller than this. This is actually a pretty good size. It's actually very detailed. I mean, look at that. That is stinking cute. And I just love quirky little stuff like this. My favorite is definitely going to be this one. Look at that. I just love stuff like that. And the best thing is guess what? The price was 89 cents. Now, this is two of them, and they do have the bulk packages where you can get, 6 to 8 or 10 for a few dollars. I wasn't quite sure how these were going to be, and I just wanted to get something that would fit in the drawers. 89 cents, guys, and I'm terribly happy right now. I can't even tell you how happy I am to use these. And I'm so glad that they fit in the drawer. And day 19, guys, day 19. So with that said, because I am going to have another video out later on, I'm not going to drag this one out, even though I know it's, you know, good to talk. I do want to just say I will be starting tomorrow my Harry Potter Advent. That's going to be the 20th of December. And that means we're 4 days for the Advent calendar, for the Temu Advent calendar, the homemade one. And then we'll start going into the new year. My goal is to do a little something either New Year's Eve or New Year's Day with all my little Harry Potter decorations. I started to say Halloween. That's my goal. Guys, the way my life has been, oh my gosh, do I even want to talk about this right now? So I will say I'm trying not to have emotions, but stuff is just happening in December. Number one, my contractor hasn't showed up in 2 or 3 weeks. Excuse after excuse after excuse. So I got stuff all over the place, which is driving me nuts. Things that need to be fixed. Secondly, I know you've probably seen the videos for up to this point. I hope if you hadn't, you're about to get a spoiler. I had a rodent in my house that was eating my patty plant that was sacred to me, and I had to deal with that. Then, of course, I had a second tree that I was going to, you know, do super. I thought I had all these plans to do this decorations, and I needed a stand. And guys, trying to get a stand in December, a Christmas stand, try it. Go do it. I mean, I had to go to, I went to one store, they didn't have it, and I went to Walmart and they had like 2. So I lucked up on that one. And then I tried to do like I was going to do this little brunch, and I was going to make Grinch cookies, and then my stove, you know, went out and I had to have that fixed. But here's the next saga of my life. I was in a car accident, and I'm trying to be nice about it. I haven't been in a car accident in ever, and not when it was something like this. I was in something in my mom's car a while back, and that kind of, I've had actually forgot about it, but it's nothing memorable. It happened, and I got on with my life. Well, this particular thing, I got hit from behind, and my airbags didn't deploy. Nothing's wrong. I mean, I do have a little bit of neck kind of things going on, and and you might see me going with my mouth. I don't know why I'm doing that. I think something's out of jar. I don't know. And I'm not saying that to get any pity or whatever. I'm just saying, OMG, what in the world? That's what I'm saying. Don't ever say what else can happen, because the guy who hit me from behind right here at Christmas time, I just felt bad for him. I did. But when he hit my vehicle, I'm sitting there at a red light, 4 cars in front of me, and I'm sitting there, and I don't know how he just apparently either lost control of the vehicle or was going too fast. I don't know. I'm not paying attention. It was crazy. When he hit my car, and thank the dear Lord, my car still runs and I can still drive it until I get, you know, the part to getting it repaired. My head hit the back of the headrest hard enough to where it dazed me. And I'm like, oh my gosh. And I'm thinking, what? This is not how I anticipated me going into the new year with Christmas and all the stuff. And I'm telling you, I'm going to keep a smile on my face. I'm going to keep on smiling. And I say all this to say to you, if you think you're going through some stuff, and I'm just airing it out because I think it's important to say you're not the only one. That's still not all the stuff that I could tell you that's going on in my life, but it's going to stop right there. But I will throw in this one because I may be I don't think I'm going to do it in this one, but it's going to come soon. My son has 2 dogs, Shirley and Homer, and you're going to see them in some pictures coming up, because for one of their Christmas gifts that I got for them was I got Shirley a red collar, a dog collar, and I got Homer, the smaller dog, a green collar. Well, they're not fixed, and it's a girl dog and a boy dog. That's all I got to say. And my big dog Shirley, or the big dog Shirley, because she's our dog now. You know, she lives with me. She's at my house 24/7. My son lives somewhere else, and he just comes and feeds them and takes care of them here and there. She's gotten off her collar, the one that she had before this one that I got for her for Christmas several times, and just roams the neighborhood. And I'm thinking, you know, what else? Nope, I'm not going to say what else. I'm going to just laugh about it. And I want you to say, guys, try to laugh about your situations. You know, laugh at them and go buy you something off of Temu. That's all I got to say. You know, this is saved my December. So I will show you a couple of videos, or a video with those dog collars, and you know, the dogs frolicking around and having their best life on my dime, right? But day 19, oh my goodness, day 19. We got day 20 coming up, and day 20 will, I don't have, do I have the Harry Potter thingy? It's not with me, it's back there, but I'm not going to go grab it. But tomorrow, whatever that day brings, it will be 2 surprises in one, this one and the Harry Potter one. Now, let me just go back and say, I'm not taking my accident lightly. Just please pray for me. Pray for my head. I hope it's not something that's, you know, serious. I'm going to have to go get that checked out, and that's what I was dreading. I didn't want to do it. I'm going to be without a vehicle for a while. I'm going to be having to rent a car. Luckily, I work from home, but however, going into the new year, we're required to go in at least once a week. And I'm thinking, yeah, of course, it would happen, but nobody was hurt. And the poor guy, you know, I felt really bad for him. He had just bought the car. It was from an out-of-state tax, and he was scrambling around to find, luckily he had insurance, so that's saving grace. So I say all that to say this, you know, there's a silver lining in everything that's going on, and I'm still going to enjoy my Christmas, my December, and you guys, and my Temu advent calendar. And the countdown is on, guys. We're 5 days away. I do have a couple more Temu hauls I'm going to try to get in before the end of the year, some more Dollar Tree hauls, so stay tuned for that. But definitely check out the Temu Tuesday. I'm going to say this here, and I hope I'm not making it too much, but I finally got some part of my pantry done, and I'm going to try to attach my crock pot dressing recipe that I had since Thanksgiving, trying to get you guys this. So hopefully, if everything works out, you will see that in the Temu Tuesday coming up later on today. Like, share, and comment. And thank you from the bottom of my heart for listening to me. And definitely, I need some prayer requests, okay? Some prayers over my life, because Jesus, I don't know how much I can take and how much I can laugh. But we'll get there. All right, guys. See you in the next one. Comment. Let me know what's going on in your life, because I'm interested. I want somebody else's issues to kind of take away from my own. And I don't mean that in a bad way. I just would like to pray for you as well. And if you're not praying people and you're not religious people, that's okay. You do you, boo, and I'm going to do me. But I'm going to tell you right now, as a community, we need to stick to doggone together. All right? Vlogmas Day 20. See you soon. Bye, guys. Okay, so I'm going to be making some crock pot dressing, and I will link the description in the description box. You will need certain items, and usually it's things you probably have on hand. You'll need oil, you'll need whole milk, you will need eggs, you will need cornmeal mix, whether it's white mix or yellow cornbread mix, but you're not going to put sugar in it because you don't want the dressing to be sweet. You're also going to need some day-old bread or some hamburger buns or hot dog buns, just a few to use as a binder. A little bit of onion, 1 onion should be enough, and I use a lot of sage, so definitely sage. And you will be needing, I always say, 2 to 3 cans of cream of chicken and cream of chicken soup. Now, right in this particular time, I'm just kind of showing you the start of it, and I'm making cornbread. So I'm mixing all the ingredients that I got off of the White Lily cornmeal mix bag, and I've preheated my oven, and I have started to mix up 2 bowls. I'm going to make 2 mixes because I'm making 2 pans of cornbread. And I highly suggest using both pans of cornbread because it makes the dressing more firm. I used to would only use 1 pan of cornbread, and it was always really, really soggy. So definitely use 2 pans of cornbread. Also, when you're mixing everything together, and I don't normally do this for the camera, so I'm trying to just show you, you know, how it is. It's just basically following the directions on the cornmeal bag.
And once I get everything together and mixed, I will be putting them in some pans that I got from Pamper Chef. They're not the same. They're totally different looking, but that's all I have to make them with. And I've never bought any matching sets, so this one's always work. And the cornbread turns out so wonderful. So here you see me mixing this stuff up. I'm trying to get it to where there's no lumps. For cornmeal and cornbread, it really isn't like cake mix. I think it's okay. It don't have to be completely smooth. But as I was mixing up the first batch, I kind of got it a little bit more liquidy than the second one that you're about to see. So with that said, I just wanted to tell you also that I did not create this this recipe. This recipe came from the Southern Cooking Cookbook. I do not remember who it's written by, and I don't have the book. I actually went to the library and rented it out and wrote down the recipe, and then eventually I went online and looked it up. And, you know, there's all kinds of crock pot dressing recipes out there, but this one is the one that I love the best. And it's just called, I'm sorry, I said it was Southern Cooking. It's Southern Plate. Southern Plate, and it's get ready for Sunday dinner. Crock pot dressing. Well, it says crock pot dressing. Crock pot. Lord help me. Crock pot chicken and dressing. And it will knock your socks off, and it is so simple and so easy. So I'm going to go ahead and get all these together. I'm making the second batch of cornmeal, and I'm going to, once I get these ingredients together, put them in the oven. And once it's done, I will show you the outcome of how nice the cornbread comes out. And I know I'm voice-overing this whole thing, and it seems like I'm taking forever, and I apologize that it's so long. I know you guys probably don't need me to see me mixing up 2 bowls of cornmeal, but this is the video. So I wanted you to see that you do need to have a 2 pans of cornbread. And also, let me say this. You can do a double batch. I just did 2 separate ones because after I started video and I realized I said I should have done one big, double batch of cornmeal, but I didn't. And so that's why I'm breaking it into 2, if you wanted to know why I'm doing that. Okay, so the first one that was all done and mixed up was a little bit more liquidy. The second one was a little bit more thicker. I don't know. I put the same exact ingredients. I don't know what the difference possibly could be. But I did leave out one important ingredient that we're going to be having to need for this crock pot dressing, and that's the chicken. And in the past, I have used a whole chicken, which I used a whole chicken. This time I boiled a whole large chicken, a rotisserie chicken if you want to do that. You can also pull meat from a rotisserie chicken. And I have used 2 or 3 large chicken breasts. I boiled them and pulled them apart with a fork. And I actually was thinking about this time using the canned chicken because I have 6 cans of really nice chicken in my pantry that I've been trying to find recipes to use. And when I mentioned that to my mama, she was like, no, you need chicken. You need a whole chicken. And I think she wanted the chicken from the broth, and she did. She took the broth and the bones and made some bone broth for the dogs. So I digress. But the point I'm trying to say, and here we go. Now I've got my 2 pans that don't match. They're 2 different ones, and I'm pouring it in, and you can see how thick that second one is right there. So you just kind of spray. Now what I do, I don't spray. I put a little bit of vegetable oil on both of the pans, and I put it in the preheated oven in about 400 degrees and let the vegetable oil get hot. So when I pull it out of the oven, I go ahead and put the cornmeal ingredients mix in each of those and pop it back in the oven. So that one's a little thicker. Don't know how come. It was the same exact ingredients. And then here comes the first one that I made up. and you can kind of tell right away it's just a little bit more runnier, if that makes any sense. But they both came out delicious. You'll see here the end product in a moment. I think I did decide to add that in. I don't know if I'm going to have to cut and paste it, but when you see it, it really does come out really nice. I love these Pamper Chef ceramic pans. They're all awesome. Okay, so once I get the stuff together to put in the oven, make sure the oven is preheated. Usually I make sure it's preheated and then I put it on 400. And I will try again to put the complete recipe in the description box as well. So in they go. And I set my timer. And this is what they're going to look like in 1, 2, 3. I am very happy with them both. Now, they have been sitting here cooling for probably about an hour or two. And there you go. So the next step is to start mixing things together. And also they popped right out of the pans. I didn't have to scrape them. All right, following the ingredients that you'll see in the description box, you're going to have 2 boiled eggs, a stick of butter, room temperature, sage, and I use ground sage. Also, I didn't have any hot dog buns or hamburger buns, so I have day-old bread, about 5-6 slices. And then there's my boiled chicken, and I didn't show you how I boiled a chicken because hopefully everybody knows how to do that. And I'm going to set the boiled chicken to the side because I'm going to have to shred that here in a bit. All right, you do need 1 medium onion, and I say medium because it makes a lot of dressing, and if you do a small one, it sometimes isn't enough. 2 hard-boiled eggs is plenty, and I just am dicing it up. I've already diced up the onion, and we're going to be making a mixture, which is really the cornbread and chicken mixture, following the recipe from Southern Plate. Now, once you get through dicing the onion and the 2 boiled eggs, you're going to mix that together. And what you want to do is you're going to take just a simple bowl, pull apart the breads. We're going to be using this bread as a binder, and we're going to be mixing all of this together. I usually do hamburger buns and hot dog buns, but honestly, with this day-old bread, it seemed like it came out a little bit better, so I made a little note for future when I make it again. If I make it here at Christmas or New Year's or anytime during the year when I just fancy it, I'll remember, because I started making this like 6 years ago, and my goodness, it has evolved. It's gotten better and better every year. The first year, it was terrible. It was real soggy. I think I used like 7 cans of cream of chicken soup, no lie, because it was just not dressing to me. It didn't firm up. And then after a couple years, I started learning different techniques, and there you go. All right, so I pulled the bread apart. I cut up the onions. I cut up the 2 eggs. I'm covering this cornbread and putting things over this stuff because I'm getting ready to go shred my chicken. And what I do with the chicken is I just basically pull it apart, pull out bones, and I get the main meat areas, you know, the breast and the thigh area, some parts of the leg. And I'm going to start I'm going to start shredding this up. And I like to get as much meat as possible. And whatever's left over, we try to use it for other things if we can. Now, I do use these kitchen shears and a fork. And I just basically pull it apart. I do use these gloves because I don't want to have my hands on all this meat, this raw meat, while I'm doing that. And I will be shredding away And you're not going to be seeing that because I don't think you want to sit here and make this video 3 hours. So I will be back showing you how I'm going to be mixing each of the ingredients together to layer the crock pot chicken dressing. And that's just the broth. I wanted to kind of let you know how much broth one boiled chicken makes. A lot. Voila! Okay, now you're going to first pull out the cornbread. And I said it came out real easy because it did. And start, just pulling it apart. It crumbles real fine, and that's what it's supposed to do. And as you're crumbling all of that first pan of cornbread, get it fine, and then start on the second one. Because again, I'm telling you, two pans of cornbread is what you're going to need. And like I said, after about 4 or 5 different years of doing this, I'm almost perfected it to my liking. And it was a process, but it has saved myself. I don't like really dry dressing, and I like dressing opposed to stuffing. And I know a lot of people like stuffing, but I'm just a dressing person, and I happen to really like sage. Sage is one of my favorite ingredients. I love the taste of it. My granny used to make all kinds of dishes with sage when I was a kid, and I just grew up eating different things with sage. And so when it comes this time of the year, I just look forward to having the homemade crock pot chicken and dressing with sage. Now, one thing I don't put in my dressing is celery. I know some people do that. This recipe from the Southern Plate does not require celery, but if you like celery, you do, you girls and guys. I don't care for it. I love raw celery, but I do not care for celery that has been cooked, not unless it's in something that I cannot detect it, and it just happens to be in there. All right, so now we're rounding up the cornbread, and it does take a little bit of time to do this. It's nothing you can do too fast. You got to make cornbread, you got to mix the stuff up, you got to boil a chicken, you got to shred the chicken, and start going at it. And it seems like this mashing up these cornbreads is taking forever, but once it's done, and it's all worth it. Okay, I think that's as good as it's going to get for the cornbread. So let's move on into the next step. And I'm probably going to just let you see a lot of it. It's just pretty much, there you go. I'm putting the binder in for the day-old bread. I don't know if I'm going to talk the whole way through it, but you can kind of see what I'm doing. Now I'm just mixing it together. I have no other ingredients in there. It's just the bread and the cornbread. This is all bread. And you'll see it just seems to just work to do it that way, and then start adding the ingredients. Now, this is how I do it. You can do it the way you want to do it. Everybody has a different way of doing it, but this worked for me, and there was not one lick of crock pot chicken dressing after Thanksgiving left. Not any. This was the first year that it was totally gone within day 2, which I was very happy about that. Okay, so I got the bread mixture, then I'm adding in the onions and the diced egg, and I just want to mix that all in together. And I have a real big bowl. I don't know how many quarts it holds, but it's a huge bowl. One of my favorite bowls that I love to mix things in. And, if you got mixers and things like that and you want to, get those out and then clean them afterwards, you go for it. But here it's just easier for me to do it like this. All right, and once this gets pretty much mixed together, we're going to start adding some more ingredients because now we want to, flavor it up. And I do tend to use more than what they say. It says 2 tablespoons of dried sage. Well, I usually use, a little over 2 tablespoons, excuse me. And yes, you can kind of see there a little, not a whole lot over it because I don't want it to be, too much. But I do let it get a little bit You know, it's probably like 2.5. I don't think it's 3, but about 2.5. Okay. So mix that up, get that all working together. And as this is getting together and mixing together, I like it to kind of be evened out. If you rush it, you know, sometimes it doesn't mix well. So I just take my time. And I'm always making this usually the night before. And in this case, this was the night before Thanksgiving. And I was just, you know, taking my time. I was off work. I didn't have anything to do. And I just said, let me make that crock pot dressing and have it ready for tomorrow. So you're going to melt some butter. And I just poured it on. Because now we're going to make a wet mixture. And just use, it says use a cup of condensed chicken soup. However, I used a whole one for this first one. And I just happened to find this Campbell's. Normally I get the store brand, but since I saw Campbell's and it was the same price. Oh, actually it wasn't that. That was all there was at Walmart when I went. I mean, literally, it was sold out of all the no-name brand. I call it the store brands. So I got those, and they weren't that expensive, but, you know, I did. So you see there, I'm adding a whole can and part of another can because it needs to be, you know, we're getting it to be a little bit, you know, smoother and more wet. So when we layer it, it'll be easy to do. So I'm going to go ahead and mix it up. And I'm going to make sure that all of it is combined and there is no dry mixture left. And you guys, you know how things go. If you're cooks and you've ever cooked anything in your life, I probably don't need to be going to this much detail talking about it. But, you know, I just want you to know what I'm doing. And we're going to get it all mixed up. And it's going to be your dressing mix. And as it's coming together, it's looking really good. I was really proud of this one. I'm so glad it worked out and wasn't going to give me a hard time. Now this is where we're going to make it even more wet, and we're putting in the broth. And this is the broth that I strained. I didn't show you that, but I strained it from the chicken to get all the, you know, gunky stuff out of it, and that's why it's so clear. Now, broth is another thing I wasn't using. Well, I think I was using too much in the beginning, and I cut it back, and I wrote myself notes. I have this hard copy of where I've wrote things on it. I'll just tell you why we're walking me through why I'm continuing to mix this up. I said, if you use a whole chicken, only use 2.5 cups of broth. Any more, it will be too soggy. And then I put also 2 full green Pamper Chef pans of self-rising cornmeal. And then I said, get a 4th can of cream of chicken for giblet gravy, which is not really giblet gravy. I just take some chicken and some diced egg. Well, I don't. My mom always does it for me. And she mixes the condensed chicken soup with a little bit of diced egg and some broth and some chicken. And we call it giblet gravy, but it's not got the giblets in it, if that makes any sense. It's like my favorite thing to put over chicken and dressing and turkey. Okay, we made it to the end, guys, and this is the final product. And here you go. This is what the crock pot chicken dressing looks like. I hope you try out the recipe and let me know how you like it. And like, share, and comment, and make today amazing. Bye.